Letters of a Woman Homesteader by Eleanor Pruitt Stewart. Chapter 10. Late in the afternoon of the 29th, a funny something showed up. Fancy a squeaky, rickety old wagon without a vestige of paint. The tires had come off and had been set at home. That is done by heating the tires red hot and having the rims of the wheels covered with several layers of burlap or other old rags, well wet. Then the red hot tire is put on and water hurriedly poured on to shrink the iron and to keep the burlap from blazing. Well, whoever had set Cora Belle's tires had forgotten to cut away the surplus burlap, so all the ragtags were merrily waving in the breeze. Cora Belle's team would bring a smile to the soberest face alive. Sheba is a tall, lanky old mare. Once she was bay in color, but the years have added gray hair until now she is roan. Being so long-legged, she strides along at an amazing pace, which her mate, Balaam, a little donkey, finds it hard to keep up with. Balaam, like Sheba, is full of years. Once his glossy brown coat was the pride of some Mexican's heart, but time has added to his color also, and now he is blue. His eyes are sunken and dim, his ears no longer stand up in true donkey style, but droop dejectedly. He has to trot his best to keep up with Sheba's slowest stride. About every 3 miles he balks, but little Cora Belle doesn't call it balking. She says Balaam has stopped to rest, and they sit and wait till he is ready to trot along again. That is the kind of layout which drew up before our door that evening. Cora Belle was driving, and she wore her wonderful pink dress, which hung down in a peak behind, fully 6 inches longer than anywhere else. The poor child had no shoes. The winter had tried the last pair to their utmost endurance, and the rheumatiz had long since got the last dollar, so she came with her chubby little sunburned legs bare. Her poor little scarred feet were clean, her toenails full of nicks almost into the quick, broken against rocks when she had been herding her sheep. In the back of the wagon, flat on the bottom, sat Grandma and Grandpa, such bundles of coats and blankets I can't describe. After a great deal of trouble, we got them unloaded and into the house. Then Mrs. Louderer entertained them while Mrs. O'Shaughnessy and I prepared supper and got a bath ready for Cora Belle. We had a T-bone steak, mashed potatoes, hominy, hot biscuits and butter, and stewed prunes. Their long ride had made them hungry, and I know they enjoyed their meal. After supper, Cora Belle and I washed the dishes while Mrs. O'Shaughnessy laid out the little clothes. Cora Belle's clothes were to be a surprise. The postmistress here also keeps a small store and has ribbon, and when she heard of our plans from Mr. Stewart, she sent up a couple of pairs of hair ribbon for Cora Belle. Soon Mrs. O'Shaughnessy called us, and Cora Belle and I went into the bedroom where she was. I wish you could have seen that child. Poor little neglected thing, she began to cry. She said, "They ain't for me, I know they ain't. Why, it ain't my birthday, it's Granny's." Nevertheless, she had her arms full of them and was clutching them so tightly with her work-worn little hands that we couldn't get them. She sobbed so deeply that Grandma heard her and became alarmed. She hobbled to the door and pounded with her poor twisted hands, calling all the while, "Corrie, Corrie Belle, what ails you?" She got so excited that I opened the door, but Cora Belle told her to go away. She said, "They ain't for you, Granny, and they ain't for me either." People here observe Decoration Day faithfully, and Cora Belle had brought half a wagon load of iris, which grows wild here. Next morning we were all up early, but Cora Belle's flowers had wilted, and she had to gather more. But we all hurried and helped. She said as she was going to see her mother, she wanted to wear her prettiest dress. So Gail and Mrs. O'Shaughnessy helped her to get ready. The cemetery is only about 2 miles away, so we were all down quite early. We were obliged to hurry because others were coming to help sow. Cora Belle went at once to the graves where her parents lie side by side, and began talking to her mother just as though she saw her. "You didn't know me, did you, Mother, with my pretty new things? But I am your little girl, Mama. I am your little Cora Belle." After she had talked and had turned every way like a proud little bird, she went to work. And oh, how fast she worked! Both graves were first completely covered with pine boughs. It looked like sod, so closely were the little twigs laid. Next, she broke the stems off the iris and scattered the blossoms over, and the effect was very beautiful. Then we hurried home, and everybody got busy. The men took Grandpa off to another part of the ranch where they were fanning oats to plant, and kept him all day. That was good for him because then he could be with the men all day, and he so seldom has a chance to be with men. Several ladies came, and they all made themselves at home and worked like beavers, and we all had a fine time.